Yeah, lights on, game time, let's break it all down. From the spreads to the lines, who's up, who's down. We're crunching the numbers, calling the plays, talking all sports in a big time way.
Welcome back to Spreadsheets Sports.
Spreadsheets Sports. Let's ride.
It is the 23rd. It's the morning of Sunday football. And I got something special for you guys. I have prepared some prop bets, and I gave you a bonus bet at the end. But this series or this session is really just about prop bets. I have the other video that talks about money lines, spreads, points, all the above, but I want to do something special for you guys and talk about prop bets only. So that's what this show is dedicated for. It should be a pretty interesting Sunday with a lot of competitive games, which is why I'm heavy on props for today. I just like them to at least get us some type of production. I will walk you through what my mindset is on the different categories, whether it's reception bets or receiving yards, rushing, all of the above. But I'm going to break it down into categories, tell you what I like outside of what the line has for you. And then also, like I said, I have a bonus bet for you. But let's dive in. For those that are new to the channel, I hope you guys enjoy the content. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those that are new to the channel, you know you have a special place in my heart. Please continue to like, comment, share, or subscribe. It's helping the channel grow. And yeah, but let's jump right into it. Let's not waste a lot of time because a lot of you are watching this video at like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning once it posted on the scheduled date that I have for the drop. And it's late night here where I'm at. It's about 2 in the morning, but I scheduled it to drop at like 9 in the morning just for you guys. When you wake up, you want to make some bets, you're looking for some props, you're curious about how your fantasy might be looking like. It might be some people that I have in this data set that might be in fantasy as well. But either way, this is for the people, not for me. I've already made my bets. I got about 36, 37 bets in already ready for Sunday. They consist of round robins. They consist of just straight parlays. They consist of just one-off bets. They consist of parlays with 2 or 3 legs. Like, I got all different combinations of so many different ways that the possible games can go. And that's on purpose. And that's strictly off of bankroll. And managing the bankroll effectively and betting accordingly and very strategically, along with very conservative mindset. I'm not trying to crack them wide open. I'm not trying to crack the books wide open. I just really love a profitable day. Profitable is great for me. I'm not the guy that's into this for the thumping on the chest of, oh yeah, I called, blah, blah, blah. Great, you called that, but did it hit? I'm just trying to call things that hit so that I can cash out tickets and it turns green and it has a little megaphone in gold on certain platforms saying that either my bet hit and or my parlay hit and or most importantly my round robin hit. That's what I really care about. At the end of the day, it's a money market for me. This is not about ego. This is not about personality. This isn't about bragging rights to try to grow the channel. If I'm honest, I would love to grow the channel to create the community that we all are desperately in need of like a really good group of people that can help us like with their feedback and their contributions that we can all make really great bets. That's the goal. But at the same time, Because I'm not a politically correct person. I'm going to tell you what it really is. And at the end of the day, for me, what it really is I already make money off of doing bets. I'm gonna let you hold that in your head right quick. I already make money off of doing bets, whether it's the games, field goals, team points, player props, spreads, money lines, combination of it all. And I'm still mixing that in with college basketball. I'm still mixing that in with UFC and boxing, round robins. Even when I lose, I win. I can't stress this enough to you guys. And I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. Like, either you round robin or you don't. And if you don't, I hope I can provide content that will help you with hitting that parlay that you're hoping to hit. But in the meanwhile, while you're hoping to hit, I'm hitting every day off of round robins. Small profit, medium profit, big profit. It's all profit. Watch some videos on how to do a round robin. It's not that complicated. It makes no sense to me for you to spend $25 on a parlay when you can spend $3 and $22 on the round robin. Even if you don't get all combinations, if you do times three or times four for a 6 game or 8 game parlay, it's still profit if you hit most of the stuff in the list. I don't understand why you don't want to do it, but I'm not going to waste my time or your time trying to get into that. Let's dive into the player props and let's see what we got. I'm going to run through it very, 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 very fast. Because you can screenshot it and make your own research and make your own determination about everything. But let's dive into the player props and let's see what we got. All right, so as we dive into player props, I just thought it would be honest and transparent and just like made sense that I would share with you my record as it pertains to how I have been betting and my success ratio of player props. Okay. Um the areas that I do very well in is in reception bets. I do very well in receiving yards. I do very well in rushing yards. I do not do well in receiving yards or not. And for context, when I say I don't do well, I'm still doing better than the marketplace and different people that are out there. But I'm still not doing above 70 consistently for these particular categories, which for me, from a profitable mindset of like, I'm looking for the most profitable and highly probable scenario that I can bet on because this is a money market, right? No different than possibly Google doubling or going up by 20%. It's the same thing for me with player props. So with that being said, right now, um, you can count on the reception bets that I'll give out. You can count on the receiving yards that I'll get out, rushing yards. I'll even say that of the receiving touchdowns I'm going to give you, you could take half of them and probably hit. You could do a round robin with half the receiving touchdowns that I'm going to put on here, and they're decently priced that you could put into a round robin and hit. And do all combinations for like a 9 leg parlay of all touchdowns, and you will do well. I'm even going to make a bet for that as I talk about it through this session. But to the left of me is the actual grid with the success ratio or win ratio of the player props. Above me is the actual graph that talks about week to week how those particular categories have been performing. Like I said, I told you the categories I do well in. Let's see if we can use that to our advantage and be very disciplined in what we choose and what we do not choose for player props. These are my um, These are my picks for reception yards. I meant receptions. Okay. Dalton Schultz, Michael Wilson, Xavier Hutchinson, Kittle, Dolce, Keon Coleman, Jackson Smith Enigma. We're going with centers for the Panthers. AJ Brown, Jalen Coker, Mac Hollins, Juju Smith, Josh Downs, Ricky Pearsall, Alec Pierce, Jawan Johnson, Harold Fannin, and Brian Thomas. That's what I like for receptions. The chart reads as so, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The box score tells you what they got for this particular stat in the most previous game. To the far right, it tells you if they won or lost in the previous game. It tells you the under the weather slot whether it's in a dome or if the weather is okay. To the probability column, it talks about the probability of this particular bet hitting. So, with that all being said, this is what I prepared for you guys for receptions. Let's move on to receiving yards. Receiving yards, McMillan 59. I would take him for 40. Pay the juice and add something else to it. You can add Bryce Young to rush. AJ Barner, Seattle. I would take AJ Barner for this 26. I would take him for 30 actually, and I would take money line on the Seattle game. Stephon Diggs, I definitely like. New England is special. I like Stephon Diggs for 40 though. I don't like him for 58. I don't like him for this close to 60. Take him for 40, pay the juice, add on Drake May for 225 on passing. That'll bring you above plus cheese. Dalton Schultz, 38. I'll take that. Nico Collins, 70. I won't take that. I'll take Nico. I actually took Nico already for 50, and I got that. TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota, 23. Take it. Matt Collins, 32. Take it. Trey Tucker, with the Raiders, 36. Take him for 20. Pay the juice. Add Geno on for some rushing yards. That's going to be an ugly ass game. Williams 61 receiving. I would decline on that. I'll take him for 50. And 50 is not my most like I don't really like him for 50, but I'll take him for 50. McBride 78. I'll take him for 60. Trey McBride 78. I'll take him for 60. Hollywood Brown 25. I'll take him for 20. He might or might not get any action. Shakir 43. I like that. Olave 65. I take him for 50. I just don't like the Saints, but I like him to win. But I don't know if Olave is going to be their guy, but he possibly could be because he's a huge target. Juju for 10. I actually got a bet where I took him for 20, so I definitely take him for 10 here. Jackson Hawes 7 yards receiving. Yeah. Hodge is going to be a part of the Bills, and they already played. And I actually did cash that bet already because Hodge did get some action. Marvin Harrison with Brissett. I like Marvin Harrison for 50. They don't have a bet here because of the books that I scanned, but I like Marvin Harrison for 50. But that's what I got for the receiving yards. Receiving touchdowns, I'm not that huge on touchdown bets. They're like home runs for me in baseball. But this is who I think will score on the receiving side for touchdowns. Take a screenshot. I'm not going to run down through all of these particular teams. Like I told you, this show is going to be very fast, but take a screenshot, look at who I have here. It's a variety of different teams, and I think that for the most part, they make sense in regards to who's going to score on a dump off from the 30-yard line or red zone, or somebody that might break away for a 60, 70-yard pass. I meant receiving yards, and then they break away on the yards at the catch. Who knows? But I love these receiving touchdowns. Let's jump into the rushing touchdowns, and you can take a screenshot of that as well. And this is the rushing touchdowns. With the rushing touchdowns, again, take a screenshot. This is all based off of data. Um, I gotta be honest, man. Out of this list, the only one I'm scared about is Gibbs because they might give it to somebody else. I don't like Barkley touchdown at minus 120 because Hurts might run it instead of giving it to him. Excuse me. But everybody else, I mean, Woody Marsh didn't get it, but everybody else, I definitely like. This is my rush touchdown list. Take a screenshot, comb through it, do your own research and see what you can come up with. But this is definitely who I like to run it in the red zone. So here's the thing, man, about these passing yards. These are the ones that I think are really going to do well. I mean, and let me shave it down a little bit. Dak Prescott at 243. That's the line. I will not be taking the line on that. I'm gonna take 225, pay the juice, and add in somebody else like Pickens for receiving yards. Patrick Mahomes, same thing. I'm not taking 274. I'll take 225 and pay a massive juice on the 225, but I'm gonna go with over 2.5 field goals, and I'm also gonna go with Juju for 10 yards receiving. Um, and I'm gonna go with Daniel Jones for over 200 yards. That alone with the Patrick Mahomes shaved down passing yards is a really good ticket for the Chiefs game. Drake May, I'm gonna take the 256. He got 281 last week. I keep talking about this guy. It makes no sense for me to put my money where my mouth is. Sam Darnold, 244. I would shave down to 225. Pay the juice, add on something. They got plenty in Seattle to choose from. Brissett, 247. He got 452 last game. Do I choose him to do 247? I like him for 247, but take him for 225. Take him for 225. Take him for 225. I can't guarantee you're going to get 250 out of this guy this week. He's a backup quarterback just riding out this starting role. He may love it, but 225, pay the massive juice, find something else with the Cardinals like a Marvin Harrison for 50 yards receiving, something along those lines. And the last one, Bryce Young, Panthers, 203. I'll take him for 200. I'll actually take, I'm going to take Bryce Young for 225. I'm going to take Bryce Young for 225 on the 49ers game because I still think that the Panthers have a chance to win. I'm not saying they can win yet. That'll be in my video for the breakdown of the Monday night game. But I like Bryce Young for 225 in passing against the 49ers. But that's what I got for the passing yards. Let's wrap this all up and talk about what I think about a real quick breakdown of the game slate, and then we'll jump into some round robins I prepared for you guys and get you guys out of here. All right, so real quick on a recap, I'm gonna run down these. I'm not gonna tell you why, because I just told you why as I went through the slate and we talked about all the different advantages and disadvantages of the game. So this is a quick rundown in 1 to 2 minutes of who I think is going to win and what are the other possibilities that are in there. First game up, like I said, I went with the Texans. Bills couldn't pull it out. I think the Bears are going to beat the Steelers. Steelers have a chance to win this game, but I think ultimately Caleb Williams pulled this out. Ravens game, even with Lamar being out because of the surgery issue against the Jets, I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going with the Lions to beat the Giants, even if Dart does play. Giants can score, take some points on that, but they're going with the Lions for the win. They're not paying a lot for it, but that's where I'm going with that game. Patriots over the Bengals. Drake May, even though Flacco is decent and decent enough, I still got to go with Drake May. The Patriots are looking amazing. They might end up in the Super Bowl, man. Seahawks, another team that might end up in a really good Super Bowl run. I definitely can see them being a problem. Seahawks are a problem in the playoffs. But I like them to beat the Titans on this game. Maybe the only thing you can get off of the Titans out of this is Cam Ward for rushing. Um, Vikings and the Packers. I'm going with the Packers on this game. Vikings can get you some points. It should be some field goals in this game as well. Going with the Chiefs to win at home. Desperate win for them. Andy Reid is going to be the real reason that they win this game if they do. Colts are going to put up a really good game. You can take points on the Colts only because they got them as the underdog and they got good pricing for that. Cardinals versus the Jags. I'm going with the Cardinals. Data says that it's going to be the Jags to win. I disagree. Going with the Cardinals, so that technically that's an upset alert right there. Um, Bears was another upset alert. Forgot about that one because the Bears are actually favored in that game. Saints versus the Falcons, going with the Saints. The Falcons, with Penix being out the rest of the season, they already know their season is done. Even though they got Bijan's going to have a good game, but I don't think they win this game. I think the Saints going to pull it out. And they're home. They need to win desperately as well. Falcons do too, but I like the Saints to win this game just from a probability perspective. Browns and the Raiders, we're going to have a good game. Shador is going to make his starting debut, not just filling in. I think he's going to be very productive, and I think the Browns can pull this game out, mainly because the defense for the Browns can keep them in the game and keep the Raiders from scoring. Not to mention the Raiders have just not been as productive or consistently productive as they need to be in order to be a contender in this game. Going with the Browns for the win. Eagles and the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this game. And the Cowboys can win this game. I just don't think that they're going to. I think the Eagles are going to keep winning right now, and they're going to keep winning and punishing everybody and just making you stop them. Either you're going to stop them or you're not. And right now, nobody can, and they win. That's just the reality. That's just the facts when you look at the Eagles. It is what it is. Argue with yourself about it. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm just calling it how I see it, and the Eagles are that team. They're making it tough in the NFC on some beat me if you want it. Bucks and the Rams. I really like the Bucks to win this game, but I don't see how they pull it out. Rams, weather's not even an issue. I'm going with the Rams to win this game, but I think it's going to be tight all the way to the very end, and it's also going to be determined on whether or not Baker sits down and takes sacks. But hopefully he doesn't. Extends the plays, makes it happen. They don't win the battle at the offensive line, so he's going to have to hustle and make some things happen, but he can. But I'm still going to go with the Rams for the win in this game. And then, like I told you, the preview of the Panthers versus the 49ers right now, I'm leaning towards the Panthers. My video on that game that drops on Sunday night, will tell you what I end up going with. But this is the slate of game. Take a screenshot of this, but these are my picks, not just the data. All right, so here goes our round robin number one. Um, Put this one together along with the automation, pulling these picks from all of the different games and all of the different player props that I have chosen. So what we have here is at the very top, I'm going with the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Rams, and the Packers all on one ticket, and this is for a round robin. If you want to do a super parlay and bet the whole thing, knock yourself out, I'm not advising you on that. I'm just telling you round robin is the way I'm going. Okay? And here's what it's going to look like, and it is what it is. Okay? You see my receiving yards here. Nico, Trey, Jameis Williams. I already hit the Nico part. I actually took him for 80 on another ticket, but I already hit the Nico part. And I took Nico for 50 also. So that hit. Okay, yeah. So Nico already hit. And then he got Trey Tucker as well. Then for receptions, I got Saunders for Carolina, Jalen Coker for Carolina as well, and Mark Hollins for the Patriots. And rushing, I got Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Gibbs. Rushing plus receiving, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, Gibbs. You can swap out Gibbs for rushing and receiving, or you can do them for just rushing. You can't do both, but pick which one makes more sense for you. And then I also like Keon Coleman, Tyler Warren, and Jackson Smith and Nigba for a touchdown. And then I like Dak, the pass over 240. And I'm gonna take him for 225. I like Pat to score 2 passing touchdowns, and I like Daniel Jones for over 225 as well for passing. But this is a round robin. This is going to be a really, 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 really good round robin. Take advantage. Second round robin. Take a screenshot of this, put it in, add something to it, take some stuff away, knock yourself out. But this is what I love. I love round robins. I love, love, love round robins. They are not only an insurance bet, but they're also very profitable, especially when you do all combinations. And it's a really great ticket. Research round robin or find the video I have about round robins, but round robin this one, not super parlay. Eagles, Panthers, Bills, and the Bears. And then we're going with McMillan for the Panthers, and we're going with AJ Barner, big target, for receiving, and we like Mac Hollins for receiving yards as well. And then we're gonna go with Xavier Hutchinson, which was last night. I got that. Greg Dorche for the Cardinals and Keon Coleman for the Buffalo hit last night as well. I'm sorry, no, it didn't. That didn't hit. He's out. Derrick Henry and Javonte Williams. That's also going to be a nice one on the rushing side. Derrick Henry definitely going to have production. Going with Chase Brown and Rico Dowdle for rushing plus receiving. Dowdle's going to have an amazing game. Chase Brown, Keon Coleman, Rico Dowdle for touchdowns. And I like Patrick Mahomes for 250 yards, not the 274. And I like Brock Purdy for 225, not 250. And I like Baker Mayfield for 220. I would pay the juice for 200 for a Baker Mayfield just to keep it safe. It's a round robin / parlay, but it's going to definitely have some really good value. But this is the other round robin, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. So, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, that brings us to the end of the show. Like I said, it would be really, really, really quick. It was all about player props. I gave you some bonus bets in there as well for your round robins, and I wish you really, really, really well with those. I think they'll be really good for you. The player props, I think, will be really good for you as well. I have a longer list of player props per category, but I wanted to give you the ones that had the highest probability of actually going through. Some of them did well in the previous game, some of them didn't, but it looks based on the conditions that they can do well in this game. So there's a lot of science and algorithm involved in why I showed you what I showed you. And I'm pretty confident in that. But anyway, happy hunting. This is your starting point for where you go from here to do some research. Take my data, compare it to some of the other shows that you see out there that we're talking about player props that they like as well. But this is what I like. And I have spread them out through many, many different types of round robins outside of the round robin that I gave you. Just because I don't know what sequence of these events or these activities or production by the players is going to happen. But I have tried to be as neutral as I possibly can be and strategically place these props within a scenario where it doesn't matter who wins or who loses. And that's the goal. We're not in this for bragging rights. We're in this for profit. So with that being said, happy hunting. I did prepare some other shows for you guys. Check them out here, and I'll check them out
Lights
tomorrow.
on, game time, let's break it all down. From the spreads to the lines, who's up, who's down. We're crunching the numbers, calling the plays, talking all sports in a big time way. Yeah.